All right, we are live. What is going on, everyone? How you doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, streaming at a time normally reserved for the Mundane Matt channel. So, a couple things happened today that kind of brought this on. Earlier in the day, I got some disheartening news that just kind of put me in a weird headspace, followed up by the fact that I found out one of my longest friends, so to speak, not like a super best friend, but a close acquaintance, a person I would call a friend, passed away. Passed away last week. I just found out today. I worked with this guy for well over 10 years. Craziest person I've ever met, truly. And it kind of gets you thinking. Gets you thinking when you find out somebody you know passed away. And it makes you kind of start to question where things are, where you are, what you're doing. Truth be told, when I started this channel, when I had the idea for this channel, back in February of 2017, I was already somewhat disillusioned, disheartened by the political side of things over on Mundane Matt. Like, I like talking about crazy stuff, but the political stuff got to be too much. It's not who I am as a person. And I just kind of said, I said, screw it. I'm making a movie channel. I want that to be my primary focus. I want that to be my primary thing here on YouTube. And a year later, 21,000 subs, and it's doing pretty well, actually. And I need to take it to the next step. So I figured, you know what? We were doing streams. I was trying to juggle too much a while back. I was trying to juggle too much by doing the stream in the day and then the stream at night. So streams over here are going to be the new norm going forward. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out. I appreciate everyone who watches my channels, plural, and what I do here on this platform. So I want to give it a few minutes. I'm going to send out some tweets and some stuff, gonna let people know that it's going on. I kind of like got hit with this rapid surge to like do it, you know what I mean? Like this surge to like say fuck it, finally throw it all against the wind and just do it. So all right, let me just tweet this out. I gotta remember to use the right one, everything. So there's that. All right, that's going to the Discord. I don't know if I've updated the Discord link to tell everyone what that is. Let me I can't do that. Let me check that one sec here. Okay. All right, where's the dashboard? Like, there we go. Okay. Don't know why that didn't work. Hold on, I'm having a little bit of technical problems here. I don't know what the hell's going on. And, well... Okay, that sucks. Let me just check something out real quick, because I'm having a little bit of issue here. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, the solo premiere is happening right now. I'm sure we're going to be getting the reactions here sometime soon. We're going to be getting the live reactions, and I'll be following that on the Twitter sphere in order to see what's going on, to see what people are saying about Solo, right? Whether or not it's good, whether or not it's bad, we quite literally have no idea. But I am sure we will know soon enough about the whole thing. And I think it's going to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I did see that there was... Ron Howard reshot 70% of the film. There's a lot of that going on. So what's going on, Tony? What's going on, Fry Guy? What's going on, Lieutenant Dan? Kenny Powers, fuck Soilo. Yeah, let's see here. Kong Skull Island was all right from a filmmaker's perspective, but it was inferior to Peter Jackson's King Kong. I don't know, man. I don't know. I liked King Kong quite a bit. I thought Jackson did a great job. Streaming about movies over on a theater. Okay. So that's going to go out right now. And apparently it still hasn't updated the thumbnail yet. Oh, well, I don't know what the hell's going on. Screw it. Now will this be a thing? Cool. All right. Cool beans. Making sure that's all good. We're good right there. Stuff's been tweeted. All right, cool, cool. So it's been a day. Outside of what's happened with me, what I previously mentioned, it's been a wild fucking day. It's been a day that has been like, it's been an emotional roller coaster. If you are a television fan, and if you are a Predator fan, we'll take a look at the Predator teaser trailer here in a little bit. Yeah, like, and that's gonna completely kill the stream, by the way. I know, like, anything involving trailers, hell, anything involving Universal, they're gonna come back and screw me. You know, I'm not kidding you. I got a worldwide block on the video I made about the Hitman Bodyguard 2, right? Didn't show anything from the movie because it doesn't exist yet, or the first movie. And I got a worldwide block from Lionsgate, Italy, as well as like 5 or 6 other places. 5 or 6 other places ended up having that. And it was, I was the weirdest thing, the weirdest kind of copyright block I've ever received in my entire life. Okay, so just okay, so I'm going to quickly update the description there. So if you would like to support the channel, I got to do the shilling. Got to get that out of the way. Streamlabs.com/Monday, and Matt's a good one. That's one that right now we can use. Also, there is super chats if you want to do that. That's entirely, again, optional. No, no pressure, no nothing on that one. It's just there. It's an option, and we can in fact just continue on in this whole thing. So, all right, that is making sure that's all logged in. That's all good to go. And okay, cool. Again, I kind of jumped into this thing a little bit pumped up, not fully prepared. Sounds like generally how I run life these days, but it's all good. And I'm just keeping an eye out on the Solo. Let's see. I'm looking for the Solo Star Wars story tag, so I can just make sure that is currently being updated. Okay. And okay, so far no one's come out of Hollywood. No one's come out yet. I'm assuming they're going to be out in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So we'll be able to get to that towards the end, just to see. Like, I want to see what's going to be probably a pretty interesting take on it. I want to see what people are going to say directly coming out, because I mean, that people at the premiere are going to end up being like, "Oh, Solo was so good. It was so great. It was blah blah blah." I mean, that's going to happen, but I have a feeling that in some cases we're going to see some that are going to be different, I think. And maybe not everyone's going to be 100% on board. But then again, this is coming off The Last Jedi. These are all the movie bloggers that are at the thing. And these are the guys who are defending The Last Jedi. These are the guys that are just like, "Oh, it's the best movie ever. Oh, it's the best. It's the best Star Wars movie." That's what they're going to be saying. But we'll definitely get to that here in the time. Okay. Let's see here what we've got latest. Just double checking that one. Okay, cool. So far, nothing quite yet. I don't know. Oh, Solo, a Star Wars story. That's the tag. All right, it's the full thing. That's the tag. All right, let's make sure we've got that one correct. Okay, and so far no one is talking about it from that perspective. Fantastic. Okay, cool beans, you guys. Cool beans. So, all right. Oh, Bad Boys 3 2020. That's right. I forgot about Bad Boys 3. Let me grab that article. Because they also announced another movie too, right? It was like Bad Boys 3 and like something else was coming. Okay. We got one here for Bill and Ted 3, another thing there. Another Jurassic World 2 preview. I don't know if I want to touch that one, only because Universal is just so fucking annoying. Is it a video? Because if it's a video, we'll check it out. I'll bring it up here. Let's see. It's a featurette. How long is it? 2.5 minutes. Okay, we can look at that. I fully expect these streams to get like copyright struck to hell and back. But we'll go from there. That's okay. These things are fine. A lot of these clips are going to be kind of clipped out and made their own little videos as they were before, which is kind of how it works for me, just in terms of keeping things in the long run. But okay, I think let me find the Bill and not the Bill and Ted. At first I couldn't find a lot of information, and then all of a sudden it was like a shit ton of stuff came out. So let's see. Okay, there's, let's take a look here at Deadpool 2 as well. Early screening reactions. There's a bunch of them here. Okay, cool. I was actually going to go see Deadpool 2 today. I had tickets to go see Deadpool 2. Mr. Epsilon and I were going to go check it out. It was north of Seattle, like in Seattle, but north of downtown. And we ended up, I ended up not being able to go because right now I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have my daughter, and I could not negotiate a way to make it work to go and check all that out. So that was unfortunate, and which is unfortunate because I'd like to be able to go and check it out. But next week is fine. Next week is all good. Okay, there's that. There's that. There's that. Okay, I think we got a fair amount of shit to look at here. I think we got a fair amount of shit to go through. So let's get this. Let's spend a few minutes talking to the chat and just seeing where we're at with all that stuff. So, all right, we've been up for 10 minutes. Got 85 people. Fantastic. That's so fucking cool. I'm really appreciative you guys are here. So, okay, what happened with the whammer of poll, IDMCA people. IDMCA people that outright take my shit without commentary, critique, criticism, or education. So I'm well within my rights to do so. Universal striking down a video talking about something without showing any evidence or any footage is that's a cunt move. Tell me your thoughts on Shrek 3. If here's the thing, man. I'll tell you about Shrek. Okay, I'll tell you about Shrek, and I'll go back to Shrek 4. Shrek 1, great. Shrek 2, great. Shrek 3 was just not good. I didn't care for Shrek 3 at all. Shrek 4, I loved it. Like, I really loved Shrek 4. I was truly surprised about how much I enjoyed kind of them taking the concept and kind of resetting it, even though it was in the context of going to an alternate dimension, so to speak. And it was a good fitting end and one good final adventure for the characters to kind of break out of their norm, because the writers had kind of written it into a corner. It's been 8 years since the last movie came out. If they were going to do a sequel, now is kind of the time. I think it would be okay. I would definitely want to see it. I kind of want DreamWorks to kind of bring itself back home. I mean, in 2010, DreamWorks had some good movies. It had How to Train Your Dragon. It had Shrek 4. There's a third movie there. I want to say it was like maybe a Madagascar movie or something. And then it was, Madagascar was 2009. I think Madagascar 2 was 2009. And then it was Megamind, which is pretty good. So like they were doing really well. And then it's just what happened to DreamWorks Animation? It just, I mean, like The Croods was 5 years ago. That was a good movie. They finally announced a sequel to that after doing a couple seasons of an animated series on Netflix, which isn't bad either. We don't need another Shrek movie. I think we could do another Shrek movie, though. I think we do. Garrick, we will be talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's going to be the first thing here. So that's going to be the first thing here we're going to be talking about is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Shrek 2 was good. Shrek 3 was pretty bad, guys. You got to admit, Shrek 3 was pretty bad. So there's that. You'd rather anything Star Wars now just be awful, so we'd have to definitely have a reason to have KK thrown out. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. Here's the thing, guys. I'm mad at The Last Jedi still. Like I've shown this on the other streams before. I still have the movie. I bought it, but it's unopened. Okay, I bought it because it's just part of the collection. Like like how many people out there bitch about the prequels, but like own the prequels? You got to kind of do it. I'm one of those kind of people. And so I haven't watched it on home video yet. I just haven't been able to bring myself to. I figure I'll probably end up watching it just to kind of catch myself up before going and seeing episode 9. It would be like if Paul Feig came out and made like Ghostbusters 2, and I'm like, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be shit. I'm going to rewatch the first movie just to know how bad it is, so I know what I'm in for. That sort of thing. Why isn't Grievous a mod yet? I haven't looked into that. I just started kind of doing this thing. So I haven't, people will be getting mods back on and shit. Madagascar 3 was 2013. Okay. That was 2013. It must have been Madagascar 2. I forget some of the days, but I will say this, hated the first Madagascar movie. Loathed it. The only thing I laughed at were the penguins. Loved Madagascar 2. loved that movie. That was so goddamn funny. 3 was good too. Penguins of Madagascar was going a little bit too far. That wasn't very good. But I did enjoy Madagascar 2 quite a bit. Probably because Bernie Mac. Because Bernie Mac was the shit. Cobra Kai, I haven't seen anything past the first episode of Cobra Kai, but the first episode is solid, and I didn't know that they released the whole season up front. I thought it was going to be week to week, so I thought I had time. And then it's like every episode available, and I'm like, oh fuck, all right. Well, now that some of my favorite shows have been canceled, I have shit to watch now. I can catch up on stuff. Yeah, Grievous, I'll make you a mod, man. You guys are pretty cool. If you guys are coming over from Mundane Matt, that's perfectly fine. Whammer, look, man, here's the thing. People want to be critical of me. I'm fine with being critical of me. I have no problem with that. Like, this is that kind of website. People can do this kind of thing. If you want to sit there and like steal my content whole cloth and re-upload it with minimal edits without doing fair use, which happens quite frequently, then I'm going to strike it down. That's the only thing. Let's see. Hold on. Where's he at? There we go. I need more mods on here anyway. So if you guys are coming over from Mundane Met, let me know. Am I excited for the Hellboy reboot? Absolutely, man. I'm excited for the Hellboy reboot predominantly because what's his name? Neil Marshall's directing, right? Neil Marshall is a great director, and I am really I'm really curious to see what happens with it. But he's a good director. And I'm so bummed his his Western remake of Troll Hunters never happened. So there's that. The word motherfucker is a noun. When will I dress as Big Al? Oddly, Art, you're going to have to tag me as at $3 Theater here. So yeah, we'll be talking about the Mick and The Last Man on Earth as well. That's unfortunate. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yep. All right, we're going to go live chat here so I can see all the chats. Oh, hey, what's up, BJ? What's going on, dude? Hold on, man. I'm making you the moderator. You know, we're treating this like the Kumite. Everyone's gonna have fucking mods and shit. Let's see here. Lethal Weapon will probably end up being canceled because they got rid of Riggs. But then again, like looking into why they got rid of him makes sense. So there's that. Thoughts on the DC animated movies? They're good. I haven't seen all of them. There's a lot to see, but they're good. The ones I've seen are great. Yeah, Predator. We will be watching the Predator trailer in a little bit. I'm just going to have to go and get my headphones. I left out in the other room. So let's see. Did I see Rick Moranis is coming back for a Netflix documentary? I didn't, but I did watch The Goldbergs tonight that had Rick Moranis voicing Dark Helmet again, and that was fantastic. So the Crow reboot is still happening as far as I have heard, Horror Punks. As far as I've heard, it's still going down. So I'm definitely thinking that's going to be a thing, and everything else. So, all right. Yeah, your cousin recommended Brooklyn to you today. There's 5 seasons of the show. So, you know, let's say it stays canceled. There's still 5 seasons of the show, 100 episodes to check out. That's a lot of content. You're not going to be hurting. It's not like going into one season of a show you like that has like 10 episodes and then it's canceled and you're like, great, I developed an emotional connection to these fucking people. You all suck. It's a lot different than that. So it's going to be good. Lethal Weapon 5. Yeah, I've heard something about Lethal Weapon 5. Oh, Jordan Peele. I heard that he put together a new movie called Us. I don't know what it is. You know, man, I've never seen an episode of Up. I'm sorry, of Empire. Brent, I believe the Crow reboot's going to have Jason Momoa, Aquaman, or Khal Drogo. So there's that. Like, all right, let's let's jump into the first thing here. We've been on for about 20 minutes, and I think this gives us enough time for that. So let's talk about the one people have been talking about here. Let's bring up this one here. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Mick, and Last Man on Earth canceled by Fox. Those sons of bitches. Hold on, actually. Let me make sure I'm recording this. I forgot to hit record. So I'm going to start over again. Part of the problem is doing it live. Make sure I mark it. All right, guys. First thing first, let's talk about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Mick, and The Last Man on Earth being canceled by Fox. Now, this news literally angered me today. It really did piss me off because I'm a huge fan of all three of those shows. And I don't quite understand why Fox would do it. Now, it's got to be money at this point. The ratings may not have been the best, but the ratings, and I would argue on network television, are probably down for anything that's not CBS or ABC in some respects. And the fact that Brooklyn Nine-Nine moved to Sunday night and started getting better ratings should have shown you that the show still has legs. Now, it says here, Fox cut 3 comedies from its lineup, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Mick, and Last Man on Earth. The Andy Samberg Show is just about to wrap its 5th and now final season, while Caitlin Olsen's The Mick and Will Forte's The Last Man on Earth already aired their Season 2 and Season 4 closers. The call to cancel the trio of sitcoms is tied to Fox's addition of another night of football to its primetime lineup for the 2018-2019 season, and the renewal of a large portion of the network's freshman seasons renewed. An individual knowledge programming it. So essentially what they're saying there is, hey guys, Fox Sports wants to put another night of football on your television, and so you're going to cancel 3 shows that people love because of football. Arguably, look, from the perspective of just football and ratings, it kind of makes sense because football will always draw in more overall. There are a lot of people out there that like football, and if Fox has the rights to like Thursday Night Football or whatever the hell it is, or whatever else they're doing, it's going to pull in ratings, and those commercials and that's going to make more money than these shows. That's one of the reasons why they should probably find ways to send them off into other networks, send them to other places, because right now we're in this golden age of television on streaming. Right now, Netflix would be a perfect home for these kind of shows, especially The Last Man on Earth. And unfortunately, when it comes to that though, what we're seeing now is basically that Hulu is looking at Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and there's been reports of a deal taking place with that one. There's been reports of them like maybe wanting to work on it because that is owned by Universal. That is actually not a 20th Century Fox owned property. But unfortunately, The Last Man on Earth, as well as The Mick, are both owned by 20th Century Fox, meaning those shows are effectively canceled. That is, unless some kind of big fan movement happens to save those shows, it's not going to happen. Now, when it comes to The Last Man on Earth, I'm okay with them finding a way to end it, but give it a solid ending. This is a show that has a very weird tendency of being able to make you laugh from just pure, unadulterated, grade A, like just cringe. You're cringing and you're laughing so hard, but then also to take you up there laughing and then just plunge you down into this like deeply emotional state, right? The show is a roller coaster of emotions, and it's one of the reasons why I love it. I was waiting for season 4 to end so I could then binge the entire season. I will fully admit, in regards to it being canceled, I'm probably part of the problem. But then again, I also watch everything on Hulu. So for me, that doesn't matter. Now, The Mick, on the other hand, I watched, I want to say probably 2/3 of the season. And then I had my daughter, so it's been hard to kind of catch up on everything. So I was waiting for that to finish up too. But again, The Mick is a show that I thought, based on the first trailer, like a year and a half ago, that the show was going to suck. I saw that first trailer and I'm like, this looks so stupid. This just looks like Sweet D got a job. And don't get me wrong, I support Caitlin Olsen. We went to the same high school. We have the same alma mater in that regard. She graduated a few years before me, but my cousins all know her. And so, like, from hometown pride, I'm just like, yeah, go Tiger to high school. Go Tigers, got to support my own and stuff. Ended up watching the show. Absolutely just floored by how funny it is. Floored by how they just keep going crazier and going darker and going wilder, and the stuff that they get away with being on TV is insane. And it's like, this is a good show. I love it. Both my girlfriend and I thought we were going to hate it, ended up loving the show. And so unfortunately, both of those are now dead unless there's some kind of campaign. Now, when it comes to Last Man on Earth, just give us a finale. Give us a TV movie or an hour special just to wrap things up. Even if it feels rushed and feels truncated, go ahead and give us the time, because as fans, we want to be able to experience that. As fans, we want to be able to see that. But right now, unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves, and it is crappy. It is super crappy that we're not being able to get a full conclusion. This is why, honestly, guys, this is why I have so much trouble with television. This really is why I have so much trouble with television. I do that because I look at the situation and I'm like, why do I want to invest into these characters? Why do I want to invest my time into getting to know this world that's being created and shown to me, only to then have it ripped away without getting a proper finale? I think that's why people wait for the shows to come out so they can watch the whole thing. They wait because they don't want to feel that loss. It does feel like a breakup. The cortisol levels do rise. You feel an emotional connection to these characters and these settings. And when they get taken away like that and this never given a proper conclusion, that actually rests on your shoulder. It goes into the back of your mind. It goes into your subconscious. And I think it does kind of keep you from wanting to go and experience a lot of other new shows because, quite frankly, you're afraid of being hurt again. It almost feels, and this is going to sound crazy, and I might catch a flack from this in the comments, but it almost feels like battered wife syndrome, right? Like these companies, they keep beating you down. They keep, building you up emotionally and then just beating you down, right? And then they want you to come back every year and do it again. It feels like that, which is why I like Netflix, which is why I like Hulu, and why I like these companies that are like, for the most part, they're not perfect, but for the most part, they will give you a conclusion, a finale. And to me, that says a lot about the current state of television and why I choose to spend my time watching stuff on Netflix and Hulu when they give that extra care, when in many cases, these guys don't. All right. So there we go. Yeah, Outlander got renewed. I heard about that. Outlander getting renewed for what's it called? Seasons. Wasn't it like seasons 5 and 6 it got renewed for? Yeah, you tend to watch shows when they finish, and you like HBO over Showtime. I agree. Westworld is difficult to follow. I haven't seen the season. Again, I'm waiting for it to finish up, which is weird because I thought about reviewing it, episode to episode and whatnot, but I just ended up not doing it. Yeah. The Cobra Kai, again, from what I've only seen the first little bit of it, so I haven't seen all of it yet. But from what I have heard, it is pretty spectacular. And I'm looking forward to finish watching it. Even though I'm only like one episode in out of 10, and I'll review it when it's over. With the problem when you do because I wouldn't mind reviewing more TV shows as we go through, like I was doing with South Park and the Orville. But when it's when it's a show that they put out there, like a bingeable show like Netflix, the whole season's available, it's really difficult to like stop after an episode and then go and like review it and then come back and then finish it. Like I was going to do that with The Punisher and Jessica Jones, but like I got really into watching The Punisher and surprisingly really into watching Jessica Jones season 2. I thought season 2 was better than season 1 with the exception of the villain. Because you can't top Kilgrave. Tennant is God. Let's just leave it at that. But it's really difficult to stop. And I should do that, like stop and like take notes, right? And then like do 3 episodes and then come in here, record my reviews, upload the reviews, and then go watch a few more episodes. It's a good way to get a break. This is a good way to kind of space it out. But then again, you're also in a bit of a fucking time crunch to get everything done. My hope would eventually be to get Netflix attention and have them give me screeners of everything, like the first few episodes, so I can get a leg up on stuff. I can watch the episodes and then I can like go, okay, here's my review. And then when it comes out, immediately dive in to stuff a little bit further down the road, in order to figure it out. So there's hold on one second here. But yeah, I mean, are you guys all down for that kind of stuff? Like, what are you all into? What is it you guys like? So if Fox wanted a true Roseanne, it would have been better to bring back Home Improvement than Last Man Standing. I disagree, but I see your point. But then again, Home Improvement was also ABC. Last Man Standing was also ABC. And also ultimately looking at the idea there, with all of that, you can see why they want Last Man Standing. And actually what killed Last Man Standing was the contract. The contract was that at the end of season 6, ABC would then take on production costs for the show, and then because it's produced by actually 20th Century Fox, and so that was what broke it down. Now Tim Allen has also come back in and signed an agreement to come back and do the show. I'm also wondering if that cost is one of the things that tied into Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So maybe is YouTube Red going to copy Netflix? I think so. And that's okay. Actually, like here's okay, from a YouTuber's perspective, here's kind of why I'm okay with that. All right, here's why I'm okay with this. Why I'm okay with this essentially is because I would like to actually it gets people, it prompts people to essentially become, oh, what's the word I want to use here? To sign up for YouTube Red. And so if you're watching me right now and you have YouTube Red, then you're giving me a little bit, right? Like it's a little bit of something that comes in versus the other that doesn't. So there's that to consider. It's you know, like it may not be. I don't know if there's ads running on this right now. They may have like disabled ads. They do that usually for streams. It's annoying as shit, but it's let me take a quick look here. I can bring it because that's one of the things. Like I know on the main channel, if I run a stream right off the bat, it's already demonetized. This one is not showing me if it is. So it may just be. It may be a thing. Sometimes it does, like right off the bat. It doesn't really matter. Some of these things are going to be popped up online tomorrow anyway. Let's see. Do I foresee more fan films about Star Wars as the fan base becomes more disillusioned with the new material? I don't think that necessarily the fan base is becoming as disillusioned with the new material as some people want there to be. Like, I have my complaints, but there's also things that I enjoy, and that's honestly why I'll be working on the Star Wars the book club thing I wanted to do. I kind of did that a little bit with the Last Jedi novelization, did a couple chapters, realized that this channel was not the place for that, and I'm currently working on building up a second channel that will then be all about kind of going through Star Wars books, discussing and disseminating the content, which I'm actually really excited to do because then it gives me the opportunity to read and then the opportunity to talk about it. Do I think Fox wants Tim Allen on Last Man Standing because he's a Trump supporter? Yes. 100%. 100% I think that. But here's the thing. One of the reasons why Roseanne did so well, it's not just because Roseanne is a Trump supporter or they had the little bickering back and forth between Jackie and Roseanne. And if you watch the show, you find out that Jackie didn't even vote for Hillary. She voted for Jill Stein, which is even fucking funnier. Okay. And so in the case of Last Man Standing, there were only in season 6, there were only like 2 references to Trump in the entire season. Ultimately, they weren't really pushing that as an angle. And the reason why was because they didn't want it to be, they weren't looking for it to be a part of the show. They knew that Mike was a Trump supporter. Everyone's known he's been a conservative. They've made, you know, they have like the liberal son-in-law and then the conservative. It's like all in the Family, Archie Bunker, right? Like, you know, him versus Meathead and them kind of going back and forth. It's the same dynamic, but done in a way that was very tongue in cheek and not pushy. And I think that people responded to that on ABC. It was just, this case, it's all about money, but Fox realizes that that a lot of their base is upset that they canceled Last Man Standing, and so they want to find a way to bring it back in order to you know, I think to make more money and stuff. Would I be interested in a Married with Children reboot? You know what, Garrick? I actually I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Only because I think the show, it's been gone for so long. 1997 was such a long time ago. I mean, 21 years. The show ended without being a proper finale. I've come to terms with that. I don't really feel like I need to... I was angry when it ended, and it just ended like any other normal season finale. It wasn't a show finale. It was billed as a show finale. Kelly finally getting married, like some kind of conclusion, and then it didn't happen. But you know, I don't know. Josh, we will be looking at the what's it called? Let's see. We will be looking at the social media reactions to that here very soon. So don't worry about that. That will be happening. All right, let's go into the next one here. All right, so the next one here, this is from Star Wars. This is just some photos from the red carpet as we wait to look into. Oops. There we go. As we wait to look into the thing with the stuff coming out, but getting a look at the cast. Like, I mean, Alden looks better here. He looks more rugged here than he did in the trailers for Solo. He looks way more rugged here. He looks way more scoundrel-esque type here. I could see, you know, I don't know why he didn't have a little bit of scruff, right, when he was playing that and whatever in the movie. But Emilia Clarke looking like the Queen of Dragons. Sorry, the Mother of Dragons. Looking pretty good there. Donald Glover. I love Donald Glover. I very much love Donald Glover. I really, I love that his career has gone the way that it has. Considering this guy came out of YouTube. He was part of a YouTube group called Derek Comedy. They were great back in like 2008, 2009. and then they did their first movie, Mystery Team, which they shot on a red camera, and it came out. The trailer for it premiered in like 2008, I want to say, like the fall of 2008. I didn't see it until it was touring, and the first week I moved to Los Angeles, my roommate and I were talking. We're like, hey man, when does that Mystery Team movie come out? And we Googled it and found out that it was playing on Sunset Boulevard. So we like jumped in his car, went down there that night and watched it. And then he was going to be doing a Q&A at the next screening. We didn't go to the second screening because they shot Community at NBC Studios in Burbank. And so it was kind of like, you know, it was nearby and stuff. And I missed meeting Donald Glover in person by just about 2 hours. I was a little bit disappointed, but I'm glad to see his career is doing as well. Still pissed off that the Deadpool animated show got canceled. What the hell? Fox? Oh, right. Yeah, Disney's buying it. They can't have that kind of crossover. Here we've got Mark Hamill and I'm assuming, Mary Lou York. Now, this is something I talked about in terms of Mark in episode 9. Now, take a look here. That's screwed up. Okay, we can't really go in too far here, but if you take a look, can I zoom in on this? No, I can't. God damn you, Rap. Okay, let's open this in a new tab. I can't do that either. All right, you know what? Wait, hold on. Open image, view image. Okay, we're gonna zoom in on this one here. Enhance. All right. Damn it, son of a bitch. Come on. There we go. Okay, so look at his beard. Now, they start shooting episode 9 next month. Now, the comment I had made was whether or not we have to look to see what Mark Hamill looks like at the premiere of Solo. Because if Mark Hamill looks like he's got a beard, then, you know, then he's probably going to be in The Last Jedi. So he's kept the beard. It's not as long, it's not as scruffy, but at the same time, you can see that there's clearly a beard there, and that there's, you know, it's his hair could still put on a wig. And I think he's going to be going back to the fray. I think he's going back one more time, and I think it's not all the way gone. He's probably still growing it out, maybe growing it a little longer before the movie. They're going to be shooting for 6 months or some shit like that. So they're going to be shooting for a while. So I think it's going to be relatively okay. But that's my thoughts on that one. I have a feeling that's the whole point. Here we got Thandie Newton looking like a polka dot. We've got Paul Bettany. You know, probably going like, man, I've probably died in 2 movies I've been in this summer so far. Woody Harrelson looking freshly stoned, because I'm pretty sure he's pretty high for this, although I will admit that suit is pretty nice. Then you've got this guy here who played, I forget his name. What's his name? Joonas Suotamo and Chewbacca. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, Opie himself, Ron Howard, coming in after shooting 70% of the film. And then, you have to love George Lucas. Goes to the premiere, not his movie, just goes to the premiere of this movie, and he's just rocking like jeans, you know, and there's like a blazer. He's like, I'll grab a blazer, because you know he wears like flannel. This is like his average everyday look, and he's like, wait, I'm going to a movie premiere. I'm just gonna rock my smock here, so to speak. So there's that. So I definitely am curious to see what comes out of that one. What do I think about Final Space? I've only seen a couple episodes of it. I really like it, and I like that they got season 2. Yesterday, I tweeted out that they got season 2, and the guy who created the show actually found it and then followed me on Twitter, which was cool. But then again, he also has like 12,000 followers, so pretty sure it's somebody else who runs the account, and he just kind of follows whoever he wants. So like, there's going to be no interaction there, obviously. Comic Book has the first reactions already of Solo. Is it Solo or is it Deadpool? Pat Thomas. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Paul Bettany is married to Jennifer Connelly. That much I know. I know there's Lucky Duck, and it's funny because they both voiced suits in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They both did. Okay, are we getting the? Okay, it's all right. Looks like the reviews are up there. If anyone has, can anyone find me the? Let me try. I'll try comicbook.com. See if the thing's up there. Okay, there we go. First reaction for Star Wars for Solo will be over here. Let's bring that up. All right. Don't mind this. I don't know why the website is what it is. Hold on. Damn. I hate this website. I hate Comic Book and all of its affiliates because it just bogs everything down. Okay, so we're looking at Solo, Star Wars Story, first reactions, because the premiere just happened and people are talking about it. So, oh, these aren't tweets. These are just whatever. So, okay. Let's see here. Solo, A Star Wars Story has held its world premiere in Hollywood Thursday, 2 weeks before hitting theaters nationwide, and the attendees have taken to Twitter to share their first reactions. Writes IndieWire film editor Kate Erbland, it takes a bit for Solo to find its feet and for young Han Solo to turn on enough charm to make you forget he's not Harrison Ford. But she says, once it kicks in, it's, hey, let's make a crew, and yes, let's also do some heist stuff. It totally flies. Uproxx senior entertainment writer Mike Ryan says that the first act can be hit and miss clunky, but a legit fantastic Donald Glover as a young Lando, and the Kessel Run heist plot makes Solo a whole lot of fun. Oh, that's kind of a spoiler. The Kessel Run heist plot. That's entirely a spoiler. So I do apologize right there. Thanks, Comic Book, you dick. Now, Comic Book owns Joseph Smith says it's a ton of fun, saying it feels more like a Star Wars movie than Rogue One, probably because it was more fanciful than it would be anything else. He says, don't look up spoilers. Kind of funny that he says, don't look up spoilers, but yet there we know that the Kessel Run is not a race, as it was previously indicated, unless I am completely off base on my knowledge. But it's a heist. Angie J. Han of Mashable says, oh no, sorry, Connor here from Cinema Blend says, bank on Lando, a Star Wars story getting a green light by the end of the year. It says Glover continues to be perfect. Angie Han of Mashable says that Alden Ehrenreich is the real deal, offering praise for Thandie Newton, saying Phoebe Waller-Bridges L3, well, we'll talk about that later. I don't quite know what that means, but I have a feeling that's probably something to do with the whole take on Robot Lives Matter, which is definitely part of her character. YouTube creator Brian Tong says, I felt like I was watching Star Wars movie again. So many moments for the fans and surprises. I've got the feels after this one more than Avengers Infinity War. Now that is a bold claim, saying that he got more feels than Avengers. But that could also tie into the fact that with Avengers, you know what, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. But at the same time, you also know that, that you know what's coming down the pipeline. So the permanence of it kind of goes away. Now IGN's Jack Jing here says that she was completely floored. The movie seriously holds up. I was on the edge of my seat. I had so much fun watching it. That's a good thing. Yahoo's Kevin Polloy, whatever, says it's really good, saying it's fun as hell. Now, granted, these are initial reactions coming out of the theater, and upon further reflection, these views could change. But to give an idea of what to expect here, this is not bad. It's not people walking out saying like, "Oh my God, this is the worst thing ever." But then again, these are kind of the same people that went to the Last Jedi premiere 6 months ago and were like, "This is the best Star Wars movie of all time." Fans say differently, but we could be finding ourselves in that kind of situation as well. Now it says here, from Yahoo, it's a straight intergalactic heist movie, kind of refreshing to see a Star Wars movie without a Death Star or the Rebellion's fate at stake. Plus Alden Ehrenreich is super impressive as Han, but L3 might be my new favorite character. And again, they were really banking on Alden here. I know there's been lots of people that, like, lots of YouTube videos that have criticized him. I myself have probably criticized him. But you have to remember, this is a guy who was kind of like discovered by Steven Spielberg when he was 16 at a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, some kind of mitzvah. He was discovered by Spielberg, so he's kind of living like handpicked, kind of anointed into this, so to speak, simply due to Spielberg's connection with Lucasfilm. And I'm pretty sure that had a lot to do with it, because Kathleen Kennedy, one of her first gigs as an associate producer was, working with Steven Spielberg, E.T., Temple of Doom. I mean, like, she knows these guys and probably took a lot of what he said to heart. Now, Mashable's Chris Taylor says it's good. It's so good. He says, this is the grungiest, most grunt-level blue-collar Star Wars ever, and I am here for it. Now, that actually speaks to me in a way that I like. Because going back to what Yahoo's Kevin here says, Pollowy, there we go, I think I probably said it right this time, is that it's not dealing with the Death Star or Starkiller Base or any of the equivalent of a Skywalker saga. And as much as I love the Skywalker saga, sometimes, again, it's cyclical. So this takes us out of it. And it doesn't deal with Rogue One, which also dealt with the Death Star as well. So this is basically kind of like the first Star Wars movie to not deal with all of that, right? With the exception of there probably being a couple tie-ins due to the whole, younger Han Solo taking place a couple years probably before the events of A New Hope, also before the events of Rogue One. I would be very surprised. I should say I would not be surprised if like Cassian Andor or Jyn Erso makes a cameo appearance in this thing. I really wouldn't be super surprised at that, because at this point they would still probably end up being alive. Well, no, they would be alive because they weren't dead yet. So that's something to consider too for what's going to happen with the trilogy, because there's going to be a trilogy. Like they've already signed them on for 3 movies, and they probably want to take these things and make them full arc storylines in order to then turn them into franchises. Let's see. Chris Taylor also says that surprise and delight you out of your seat. That's okay. Solo left Nerdist's Rachel Hine pleasantly surprised, who calls the Ron Howard directed movie a cute, fun, stylish Star Wars adventure. Now, that's not 100%, like just gobbling, praise there, but it shows, oh, it's a cute film. So, mid-grade type stuff. Peter Sciretta from Slash Film here says, feels surprisingly unlike any Star Wars movie before, yet perfectly captures the tone, adventures, characters, and humor of the Star Wars franchise. He says, I need a Lando movie in my life. He also goes on to say, stay away from spoilers, a big Marvel level shit that will make you wonder where Lucasfilm is headed next. Now that is kind of odd. Right? That's kind of odd to me. Why would they sit there and say like, okay, so they want this movie to be huge. They want this thing to be big. Obviously they're gunning for it. Obviously this is what they want. This is what they're gunning for, and it's fine with me. And then they're already looking at like trying to. Now here's my question: Is this the springboard? Is this where they're going to be taking it to diverge away from Skywalker? And that is ultimately fascinating to me. It's very fascinating to me if this is going to be the case, because going forward in this regard, it's going to showcase a very different tonal change for Lucas. Because I think part of the problem when it came to The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi in terms of criticism from fans was that, again, it kind of felt, in the case of Force Awakens, it felt too similar. Which is true, it did. In the case of The Last Jedi, it went too far one direction. Maybe this is where it kind of like finds its footing. This is the 4th movie released by Disney with Star Wars in it. People out there are kind of hot or cold on Rogue One. Personally, I fucking love Rogue One. I loved it for its grittiness, for the way that they handled it. I thought it was fantastic. And this one kind of feels like it looks kind of the same way. Now, I've been a little apprehensive on this one. We've covered it for quite a while here on the channel. I'm excited reading this. I'm very excited to go see this movie in 2 weeks. Thankfully Deadpool 2 is next week, and then we have 1 more week to go till Solo. So if if you're a movie fan and if you're watching this video, you probably are. It's a good time to be around. These next 2 weeks are going to be pretty freaking awesome. So, Sisterium, they signed him to 3 movies. They did. They signed him to 3 and everything else. So there's that. Stay after the credits, kids. You'll never believe what the that's pretty funny. That's pretty good. You'll never believe what they're up to. You'll never believe what the Galactic Empire is building in Solo's future. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I have to admit, that's pretty goddamn funny, man. Solo is a prequel to Rogue One, entirely possible. So no, Tony, you think it's okay. You think he is, you understand he has big shoes, the film, but you don't think it's entirely, fair to squawk at him because he used an acting coach. I don't really deride him for that, to be honest with you. I think that if they were having trouble, they probably wanted to make it just right. So, okay. The person who leaked the Last Jedi script is 100% right. About episode 9. No, he's not, he had suggested some things, but he wasn't 100% correct. It was, this is also like an early storyboard. This could have come off an early draft. We don't know if what was said in that leak came from Trevorrow's version. I covered it, but I covered it from a poor source, which was my bad. Like I should have gone to the Reddit source directly. I don't know why I didn't. But there were other speculations made by Midnight's Edge. They're like, oh, this could have come from the Trevorrow draft and not the J.J. Abrams one, which is entirely true. So, Morrow Man, you graduate college tomorrow with a bachelor's degree in animation. I can clearly fucking speak this evening. Congratulations, man. Good job. I really hope you. You get out there. You're going to see. How are you going to go see Solo? BJ? How are you going to go see it? How? And why aren't I with you in Germany? Let's see here. Am I more excited for Rian Johnson's trilogy or the Game of Thrones guys? Game of Thrones guys, come on, man. I don't think Rian Johnson is a good storyteller. He's a talented director. I give him that. He's a very talented director. He is not a good storyteller. So there's that. Rian Johnson sells a trilogy. Yes, he does. Is it available where you are? They opened it 2 weeks early? Hold on. I got to see this. What? When? Oh, you fuck. Wait, hold on. Hold on here. You can't go see it tomorrow. You can't go see it. I'm looking up here. Nah, you can't go see it. It's opening up. Yeah, you can't go see Solo. It opens up on the 24th, man. I'm looking at it right now. You liar, BJ. You filthy liar. Why you gotta turn? Why you gotta turn my channel into a house of lies? You know, that's you son of a bitch. Let's see here. You can't do a Wednesday night premiere, man. It's not out yet. Oh, how can you do that? I think you're trolling, man. You're trolling because it's going to come out for 2 more weeks. So you trolling. They wouldn't even have it early. It hasn't even premiered at Cannes yet. It's not gonna. I want to see. You need to DM me on Facebook with ticket stubs. That's the only way I'll believe you. And you're my friend, and I'm still gonna call you on some bullshit. You gotta provide ticket stubs, BJ. Ticket stubs. Also, hit me up later on fucking PlayStation, and we'll talk. It's been a while since I finally playing PlayStation again, so there's that too. After the recent Star Wars films, are the prequels still the worst? Yeah, The Phantom Menace is still the worst. It is. It's Phantom Menace and then Last Jedi and then Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith. That's the order from bottom up. Would I be interested in a Back to the Future reboot with Amy Schumer directed by Paul Feig? Garrick, I will take away your mod wrench and I will eject you from this goddamn stream, sir. I will eject you from this because that is horrible. Why do you want to scar me? Haven't I already gone through enough pain today with the death of one of my longtime friends? And you want to sit there and talk about rebooting Back to the Future with Amy Schumer? What's she going to go back to? The kitchen? Jesus, dude. Come on. That was mean. I will fully admit that was mean. I shouldn't have said it. BJ, you send me a picture. You send me a picture of your fucking ticket stubs. You say you got him. You send me a picture of Facebook right now. I want to see him. I got my phone. You can DM me right now. You know how to message me. Don't act like you don't. Don't act like we're not friends on there. I want to see it. I'm bringing it up right now. I'm bringing it up. I'm going to bring up my Messenger app and you are going to send me this shit. So I'm waiting on that. He says we'll do. I'm waiting on that right now. All right, let's jump into the next one here, the next story, because this one is for those of you who are TV fans. This will bother you. The Expanse is a show that I will fully admit I haven't seen, but I have heard nothing but fantastic things about. Like, this is a show that people have said, like, do you like Game of Thrones without the incest and still set in space? And I'm like, yes. And with any of the other things too. And they're like, go check out The Expanse. It's on season 3 and the show gets pretty good. I have friends who aren't even into sci-fi who watch the show and they love it. I just have not been able to watch it myself. So it is with a heavy heart that I bring to you this news this evening, that The Expanse will end on sci-fi with season 3, but on the bright side, it's going to be shopped around elsewhere. And this is honest to God where more TV shows need to go. Right? TV shows, the production companies behind them need to stop really holding on to the network, man. They need to always be looking at like streaming services on the back end. Like, yo, Netflix, I hear you popping out $8 billion in 2018, man. Hook it up. because this kind of stuff could bring in a solid fan base. Now, this is just what it says. The current third season of The Expanse will be the space drama's last one on Sci-Fi. The cable network has decided not to pursue a fourth season of the show, with the last episode slated to air in early July. Alcon Television Group, which fully finances and produces the critically praised series, plans to shop it to other buyers. Isn't that weird? It's a show that's not only a critical darling, but it does really, really, really well on the network, and it's well beloved. Is finding itself having trouble on Sci-Fi. I mean, then again, it's Sci-Fi, a show that you know, kills shows for other shows. What was that one? Defiance? That one? Whatever that show was. That was like also a video game tie-in. That was kind of an MMO sort of thing. That lasted, what, 2 seasons? And as a result, Sci-Fi killed off the American version of Being Human. It killed off that one. Man, what was the name of that show? It was basically X-Men. It was by the guy who wrote X-Men 1 and X-Men 2. And it was on there. I forget the name of it right now, but that was a really solid show. Shows go to Sci-Fi to die, except I hear Krypton's pretty good. Now, it says The Expanse transported us across the solar system for 3 brilliant seasons of television, says Chris McCucumber, the president of Entertainment Network's NBC Universal Cable Division. Everyone at Sci-Fi is a massive fan of the series, and this was an incredibly difficult decision. We want to sincerely thank The Expanse's amazing cast, crew, and all the dedicated creatives who helped bring James S.A. Corey's story to life. And to the series' loyal fans, we thank you most of all. You have to live that. We've given you 3 seasons, fans. We've given you 3 seasons of a show that you love. You buy the merchandise, you buy the DVDs or Blu-rays, you watch the show, you come back often, you sit through those ads, even though they're pesky as hell. And we want to thank you by canceling it before giving it a proper finale. Now, The Expanse is one of the first series to greenlight after the change in programming direction at Sci-Fi, when the network signaled a return to its roots of sweeping space opera series in the vein of Battlestar Galactica. The Expanse from Alcon and Sean Daniel Company, which was tipped as a potential successor to Battlestar Galactica, was part of a crop of Sci-Fi series that launched in 2015, along with The Magicians, which was recently renewed for a 4th season. I've seen like 4 episodes of that show, and I don't understand how the hell it's gotten 4 seasons, let alone 1. I hear it gets better, but the acting is atrocious. I mean, like, come on. As far as Sci-Fi shows go, I've seen better acting on Skinamax late at night when my hands didn't, never mind. Also, 12 Monkeys, which was renewed for an upcoming 4th and final season. Now, 12 Monkeys I've heard is good. I haven't seen it yet. Now, here's the thing, too. So it was reviewed well with 100% this season on Rotten Tomatoes, which in the realm of what we do here in terms of covering entertainment, that's considered a good thing. It also has got a 95 for season 2 and a 76 for season 1, meaning the show's gotten better over time. The cancellation decision by Sci-Fi is said to be linked to the nature of its agreement for the series. Okay, so the back-end stuff does kind of kick in sometimes, which only gives the cable network first-run linear rights in the U.S. That puts an extraordinary amount of emphasis on live linear viewing, which is inherently challenging for sci-fi genre series, which tend to draw the lion's share of their audiences from digital and streaming. Which is true, because people who like sci-fi tend to be more technologically evolved and like to sit there and watch it all in one go. The Expanse's Live Plus 3 linear ratings started with 581K in the 18 to 49 demographic and 1.37 million total viewers in season 1. The season 2 average was 475,000 and down a little bit to 1.5 or 0.05, and season 3 is down 400K. So you can see in a million. So you can see that it's dropping in terms of its live viewers, and it's still. That's the thing that annoys me when it comes to this stuff, is they're still on this like draconian Nielsen rating nonsense. Like, I understand that like clearly they have a better fundamental understanding of who watches these shows than some idiot like me can espouse. But at the same time, it's kind of like when you hear like, oh, Roseanne had 18 million people watching it live. And then it's like, oh, well, wait, hold on, wait 3 days for the numbers to come in from Hulu and ABC.com. They go, oh, it's really 23 million people. Like it's a lot of people are watching this kind of stuff. And the question there becomes, how many people out there are cutting the cable, are cutting their cord, which is a lot. A lot of people, 10 million people a year are cutting the cord right now. And so it's these kind of shows are having further and further trouble getting themselves viewerships. which is one of the reasons why they need to adopt streaming. They need to go to Hulu. They need to go to Netflix or Amazon. This is where we're going to find ourselves in a better situation. Now, it says here, Alcom president says, "We're very disappointed that the show will not be returning to Sci-Fi. We respect Sci-Fi's decision to end the partnership, but given the commercial and critical success of the show, we plan to pursue other opportunities for this terrific and original IP." And it was written by the guys behind Children of Men. That actually is pretty cool. And it's based on a best-selling book series. So ultimately, this is the kind of show where really you want you want there to be another network to pick it up. Now, obviously, the key thing here is going to be Netflix, obviously, right? Well, it could also be Hulu. Now, a couple years ago, Hulu was only at like 8 million subscribers. Now it's over 20 million. So they've jumped up a lot as more and more people have cut the cord, and Netflix has cropped past 100 million monthly subscribers. Hulu is also kind of upticked a little bit as well, which generally seems to mean that they have more money coming in order to produce this kind of content. And I understand that they've got The Handmaid's Tale and that's their thing right now, but they should look into getting this, because if they don't, Netflix might. People out there might argue, but what about Amazon? Amazon, makes a lot of money. They dropped $1 billion. That's the estimate they're going to be putting down for that Lord of the Rings, the 5 seasons of the Lord of the Rings prequel series. They're good for right now. I mean, hell, we don't even have Man in the High Castle season 3. So who knows what's going on with Amazon Instant? No one. I'll tell you, no one. But if this show wants to be saved, it's up for the fans to basically reach out to Netflix and Hulu and hopefully get some kind of bidding war and get the deals made in order to keep this thing going. Because given the commercial and critical success of it, it would be stupid for anyone else to just walk away from it and not pick it up and let it make them a lot of money. So there's that. Okay. Anthony, I'm not talking about E3 right now, man. We're not talking about E3. So there's that. Also, BJ, it's been some minutes. I'm not seeing any messages on my Facebook, and you're online. I just waved to him. I'm there. I'm online, dude. Where you at, man? Where you at? So cable is dying. Yeah, and it should. Cable is dying. It is 100% dying. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're gonna we've already okay, he's responding. He's responding. Let's see here. I want to see tickets. I want to see tickets for Solo. A Star Wars story. Stop responding. RJ, oh, it's your birthday, man? Yeah. I'll give you a wrench if I can get this thing to work. It's kind of the chat's kind of messing up. We need another Mad Max movie. I agree. I'd love another Mad Max movie. I really enjoyed I finally bought Blood and Chrome the other day. So I bought that on Black Friday. Did I hear about Greta Gerwig being loud during a screening of I Feel Pretty? I did. Yeah, I did. I did tweet about it last night. Like, oh, now we're glorifying people being assholes in theaters. Like, that's the thing now. Like, I want to actually do a video about that for this. Soylo, a stairway story. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We talked about Brooklyn Nine-Nine already. That was a little bit ago, but there will be a standalone video for that coming out in the morning. Again, also, this next one here too will be a thing. Okay, so let's jump over here. I don't know why I did that. That's such a force of habit for me right now. Rick and Morty, Reddit tier intellectualism on Cartoon Network, which is also Reddit tier intellectualism, so to speak. I know it's kind of a running gag. I actually find the show to be pretty intelligently written, but I am glad that we're getting another season. It turns out we're getting a lot more than just one season, right? We're looking at Rick and Morty's been renewed for 70 episodes, but you gotta love the question here: how many seasons will that be? 7. Ultimately 7. It's gonna be 5 or 7, and the reason why we'll get to the reason why it's gonna be 70 episodes we're going to get to the reason why. Anyway, it says here that earlier this year, there was some concern about the complicated discussions taking place about Rick and Morty to get renewed for season 4. Now it appears there was a good reason for the extended negotiations. And that's true. People were like, what's going on with Rick and Morty? Season 3 ended a long time ago. Why hasn't there been a season 4 renewal? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Is it the Szechuan sauce situation? Is it the Szechuan sauce situation? Did it just completely kill the credibility of the show with Cartoon Network? And the answer to that is clearly not, because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They to them, that's great promotion, right? Like, they can be a little bit sore at McDonald's for bringing it back, but McDonald's kind of brought that on themselves. To be fair. Yeah, I'm victim blaming McDonald's on this one. Okay, deal with it. Now it says here, the Hollywood Reporter has news that Rick and Morty season 4 renewal. However, there's clearly much more than that, a renewal for just one season. Unfortunately, what's not clear is how those episodes are going to be spaced out over time. The renewal is merely described as a long-term deal that has no time frame for when the episodes will air. And that's kind of the thing with Rick and Morty, isn't it? Isn't that kind of the thing with them? That's their whole deal, man. Is it's like, oh, we come out, we want to come out, you know, whatever. Like, they don't have a strict timeline to it. And that actually probably works out well for them ultimately. But at the same time, it's kind of like fans are going, hey, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck, bro? So it says here that the renewal is merely described as a long-term deal that has no time frame for when the episodes will air. Now, the first season of Rick and Morty had 11 episodes, while the second season and third season had 10 episodes each. If the new seasons of Rick and Morty follow suit, then at the very least, we're going to be getting 7 more seasons of the raunchy cosmic misadventures. But considering how long series co-creators Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon have taken to get new seasons of the series off the ground, not to mention the long process of creating animated shows, we're likely looking at Rick and Morty being around for at least another decade. But the thing here, you got to keep that in mind, is it's not going to be that long. Okay, so they've done 3 seasons. They're probably going to start upping it to 15 episodes a season, maybe, which would take them, or maybe it's going to be like, 12 episodes a season, right? And then after 4 seasons, that puts them, or 4 or 5 seasons, that puts them at close to the 70. It could be a little bit longer. They could have Christmas specials. Who knows what they're going to do, right? They're probably going to make more episodes here. But here's the thing, what I want to talk about with that 70 episode number being important here. Now, it goes on to say that this is not only good news for Rick and Morty fans, but for those making the Adult Swim series. This new 70 episode order pushes the entire series to 101 episodes, which is enough to get that sweet, sweet syndication money. After considering how much people are watching The Office in syndication on Comedy Central since it arrived earlier this year, that's a big deal. And that's true. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure they're still happening right now, but you had a whole bunch of freaking streams on YouTube that were running Rick and Morty episodes 24/7, just on a loop, 24/7, and at any time of day. You could sit there and find around 62 to 6,500 people watching concurrently. That's a lot of people watching Rick and Morty. I mean, these were like trending streams. There's a whole bunch of animated shows that were being looped like that. And then the whole conversation came out about like, oh, but what about piracy and copyright? And YouTube's like, no one struck it down yet, so we're leaving it up. Because they're also getting the ad revenue off that as well, because whoever was running these streams was in fact running ad revenue. Now, basically, it says that the Rickmobile is going back to San Diego for Comic-Con, and I don't care much about that. Comic-Con in and of itself at this point is kind of a waste. But look, Rick and Morty is a good show. It's a good show that's ultimately been ruined by the new normie fans that have come in, and I don't think I'm the only one to make that claim. The whole Szechuan sauce debacle was, man, that was a debacle. That was annoying as shit. But at the same time, it was also funny because we got to watch people respond to not getting their hands on Szechuan sauce that was popular in 1998. So, reasons and stuff, right? But the show has brought a whole bunch of new fans in. And it's kind of alienated the original fans, like the old school ones that have kind of become hipster. And I know I made a joke about Reddit intellectualism, but that is, again, a bit of a running meme in regards to this. I do think the show is very smartly written. I think the show is smartly acted. I like the characters. I like the adventures. And I like the settings. And no, I'm not a Reddit intellectual, okay? just because I have the app on my phone and I pay for the premium, Jesus, leave me alone. But the point is, it's good stuff. I like it. And it's come back for more. What I'm going to think happens here is part of the longer extended negotiation was because, yes, a syndication, but they also put a timetable in for getting the episodes done. They probably are allowing them a lot more money for production in order to speed everything up, as well as bringing on more writers. To get this kind of order through, Cartoon Network is probably putting in a lot of money on this in order to facilitate a faster turnaround time. Before, if you look at some of the behind the scenes stuff, it does kind of feel like it's a bit smaller of an operation to get the show off the ground. Now this is hitting prime time. This is hitting the big leagues, and they want this to be around for quite some time. So I'm assuming that this is going to be around 4 or 5 more seasons of the show, which is fine with me. And then once, if it ends at 101 episodes and it goes into syndication, then everyone involved will make a lot more money, and McDonald's will have even more of a reason to keep bringing back Szechuan sauce on an annual basis. All right. Okay, cool. So, yeah. It was the WGA strike that killed Jericho. Are you guys talking about Jericho now? No, Sammy. Normie fans, like, it's an internet thing when it comes to Reddit. When it comes to Rick and Morty. So... yeah, hold on. I'll mod you, man. I'll mod you. BJ just said, I made the mistake. It's not this week, it's next week. You goddamn right. You gotta kick in a super chat now. I called you out. I'm kidding, BJ. All right. So, I have an IQ of 240 because I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. Yes, you called me. You busted me, sir. You busted me. You know my secret now. You know what I've done. You know what I've done. There's definitely that. But, all right. Let's see. This is all in German, man. I can't read this. I don't even see... okay, you're gonna go. This is all in Germany. Okay, so you got it for. He sent me the thing right now. I'm looking at it right now. What day is it? I don't see a date. Tickets, but I don't have your barcode, so I'm gonna go to Germany and steal your tickets. That's what's gonna happen. I don't see a date on here. Damn stupid German. Okay. I believe you're going to go see the movie. I just can't see a date. The irony of my statements is that the biggest Rick and Morty fan you know spends all the time on Reddit. It's more of a gag. The whole thing's a gag. So, datum. I'm gonna look again. It's on my phone. It's small. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. You are getting to see it. It's like, yeah, you're seeing it before me, man. You're seeing it before me. When you're watching Solo, I'll be watching Deadpool 2. So there's that. So he was wrong for seeing it today or seeing it tomorrow, but he's seeing it next week, and good for him. Also, that's for you, BJ. Whoa, shit, I'm out of focus. What the fuck? This camera's been doing that lately. It's been really popping. It's been autofocus has been sucky. Okay. All right. So let's go to the last story I got picked out here, which is the reactions. If I can find it here. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong one. That's you guys. There we go. The reactions to Deadpool 2, saying that hold on here. Let me start that one over again. I don't think I'm gonna make this a clip. This won't be a clip. This won't be a clip. I was like, oh, I'll make this one a clip and put it on the channel. It won't be a clip. It'll just be its thing. Okay. Not screw. It'll be a clip. if I could talk right now. All right, Deadpool 2 early reactions, an epic sequel that earns its R rating. Now, like I said before, I was supposed to go see this today. I'm disappointed. To read these reactions is going to cut me deep as a fan of movies, because I should have been there. Sadly, I wasn't. But it says here, the first reactions for the Deadpool 2 our movie are now online. It was a long and arduous journey getting the first Deadpool movie to screen back in 2016. Starring Ryan Reynolds as the eponymous character. Spent years stuck in development hell, then finally moved forward only after test footage had leaked online. Still to this day, we don't quite know who did it, Tim Miller. At least that's the speculation. The fan reaction was enough for 20th Century Fox to then commission a movie. And 2016 movie broke records, became an astounding critical and commercial success, especially for an R-rated movie, which is why many studios are now convinced the R-rated comic book movies can work on a large scale, and it seems that they're using the first film's popularity to go all out in the sequel. Directed by David Leitch and based on a script by Reese and Wernick and Ryan Reynolds, introduces Cable, but also X-Force, and more. And so this should be pretty good. So let's see here what people are saying. These are spoiler-free, by the way. Okay, so Molly Freeman here says, so I like Deadpool 2 more than the first movie. I think it's more ambitious and it pays off. There's plenty of humor, action, and drama, and the movie balances itself well. Cable and Domino are standouts. I love them and can't wait for X-Force, but there are some fun surprises. With that said, Deadpool 2 makes the narrative choice that is not great, and I will talk more about that after the movie's out. Also, there is more blank in this movie, and I was hoping less than I expected. Or, okay, more than they were expecting, but less than they had hoped. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I have a feeling I know who that character is. I don't want to say who because I don't want to spoil it. But basically from what Molly here is trying to say, from what I can take from this, they definitely built upon the foundation that was the first movie, and they are trying to balance everything pretty well, but it's also a sequel, so sequels have to go bigger or go home. And apparently Cable and Domino are going to be good, which is the entire point. Because at the end of the first Deadpool, they had the whole thing saying, hey, we want Cable for the next one. Now, Sean O'Connell here says, so Deadpool 2 is the perfect sequel. Doubles down on everything that fans love about the original and fixes some of the film's issues. Huge laughs that play an audience like a fiddle. Ryan Reynolds destroys his Wade. Great action, fantastic comic nods, a killer ride. So, interestingly enough, when the first movie came out, my take on it was that the marketing was too aggressive, and I completely just absorbed the marketing in that movie. So for me, it was a little disappointing my first time watching it, simply because I knew everything. I've watched the trailers now for this, but I haven't rewatched them as many times. So there's definitely that. Now, Alex here, who's verified, so this person clearly has an important opinion on Twitter, says Deadpool 2 is better than Infinity War. Now, I'm not going to argue with Alex. I haven't seen the movie, but I just gotta ask. Are you sure about that? Because Infinity War is pretty goddamn good. Infinity War was pretty good. Now, Kate Erbland here says Deadpool 2. I'll say this: it earns the hell out of that R rating, and the cameos and the post-credit scene. That's good to know. There's lots of cameos in it, lots of stuff like that, and I hear the post-credit is where it's at. I don't know what the post-credit scene is, but I'm hearing that's where it's at. Now, Mike Ryan here says, I didn't like the first Deadpool. Deadpool 2 beat me into submission until I was actually enjoying myself. It also features my now favorite post-credit scene. So clearly the post-credit scene is what fans are really going to be going after here. Now, Matt Singer here says, I like Deadpool 2 more than the first one, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Slow to start, but with all the stuff in X-Force and Cable and Peter, it works surprisingly well. And we're kind of seeing a pattern there. People who watched Deadpool 2 years ago and were like, sorry, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now coming back and saying, like, this one was a lot better. That's pretty good. And there were a lot of rumored production problems with the storyline problems. Like, there's a big spoiler that was going around that was sent to me. Like, I was sent this list of spoilers by somebody, and that was confirmed to be true. And I read through the list, and like some stuff I'd heard repeated at other places, and I'm just like, I don't know. But none of those things are kind of being reflected here, because I think they would honestly reflect a little bit of them, because they were some pretty terrible shit. Now, Nigel here says, it is no doubt the most violent major release since Kill Bill Volume 1. It's also funnier than the first film and had me genuinely excited for a sequel. Oh, and it features a ton of Canada jokes, so of course I loved it. Good. Who doesn't like making fun of Canada? right? It doesn't, who doesn't like that at all? Now, I like that the article does say here that unsubstantiated reports from a month ago indicated Deadpool 2 was in trouble and that the sequel was testing lower than the first movie. But the above critic reactions seem to suggest that those reports couldn't be further from the truth. People are loving the sequel, with at least one person saying it's better than Infinity War. That might be difficult to believe for the Marvel Cinematic Universe fans, but it's wonderful news for comic book readers who've waited years to see Cable realized on the big screen. And that is true. That is true. So, in this particular situation, in looking at these reactions, just a few critical reactions here, we can see that this movie improves. We can at least ascertain. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say for myself. Again, I should have been there. I should have already been having a review up. I don't think I would have been embargoed because I saw the fan. It would have been a fan thing today. But you have that, and they clearly are saying that it's better, that it's pushing to a better place, and it's trying a little bit harder. You got to understand, the first movie, they only had $50 million. They kept it as simple as they could. They followed the KISS method, the keep it simple, stupid. They did that in order to, I think, maximize their effort, right? To tell a very simple and basic origin story that just happened to make, nearly $1 billion, right? I would argue that combined home video sales as well as ticket sales for theaters probably earned $1 billion. And they're hoping that this one's going to do the same. This is currently projecting $150 million opening weekend next week. And that's a lot going into Solo, which is projected to make $170 million if it does. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I look at these reactions, and it does fill me with hope, because I was looking at some of the other stuff that was coming out that seemed to be relatively problematic. But that being said, 20th Century Fox and the filmmakers did push for reshoots up until just a couple weeks ago. So it's not like it wasn't like, they found themselves in like a perfect place all the way through. They may have had to go through a couple of revisions in order to get themselves to this point. And at the end of the day, reshoots don't mean a movie is bad. Reshoots are pretty common. A movie from script to scene or from script to screen takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and things can go wrong, and they do go wrong often. So it is something to consider for the future, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But otherwise, next week, man, I'm so there. I'm so there. Chimichanga and popcorn in hand, which is totally going to kill all of my Weight Watcher points. All right. So that was a lot. That's a lot of stuff. We did what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I skipped that one. I skipped the Cobra Kai stuff. And we did the Solo reactions too. So that's a lot. It's a lot of reactions. So people are like, yeah, reading the things right now. I'm looking through some of the tweets. So all right with that. So yeah, let's open it up. Let's open it up to what you guys have to say about this one. Go ahead, post your comments. I'll be on for about another 7 minutes. We'll do about a 90-minute stream tonight, and then of course the clips will be out tomorrow. So if you guys got anything you want to say, anything at all, go ahead and leave those comments below. We actually topped out tonight with about 125 people watching, which is pretty goddamn fantastic, and I'm very thankful for that, for kind of a random stream on a random channel. I'm definitely gonna do this more often, because honestly, I have more fun talking movies than anything else, and I just appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I really, really do. Let's see here. Cobra Kai is very negative. I don't know. Well, I haven't finished watching it yet, so I don't know. Christian, we already did the Solo reactions, but that video will be up right in the morning, so it'll be up probably about 4 a.m. Anyone else have Weird Al's Canadian Idiot stuck in their head right now? No, but well, now I kind of do. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man. How many Star Wars shirts do I have? Oh my god, I have so fucking many. I have so fucking many. Here's the thing. So my family, they like to when Christmas and birthdays and stuff, they like to give me, they like to give me nerdy shit. So I end up with like a lot of Star Wars stuff. And so I got a lot of shirts. A lot of my shirts are Star Wars. So yeah, I have a lot. Do I think Disney will try to make Deadpool 3 PG-13? Well, Ryan Reynolds had indicated that Deadpool 3 may not be happening. But let's look at this realistically. So Deadpool 2 2018, X-Force will be 2019. Guaranteed they're going to rush this thing through before the Disney merger happens. Deadpool 3 realistically won't be until 2020, 2021. Probably not until 2021, given X-Force is going to be the big crossover film there. So by 2021, Deadpool 3, if it happens at all, will definitely be under the Disney banner at that point. Bob Iger has said that he's going to protect the sanctity of Deadpool because he realizes that it's a large fucking moneymaker and he doesn't want to screw it up. So as a result of that, he's going to do that. And then he's also going to, protect it as long as he can. Now, Iger has his contract expanded through to June 2022 to completely oversee the buyout and then the absorption of 20th Century Fox. And so after that, who knows what's going to happen. So Deadpool 3 will probably be rated R under 20th Century Fox, which is fine. Keep in mind, Disney owned Miramax and they released, Pulp Fiction. So it's not like Disney's against releasing R-rated movies. It's just not going to be under the Marvel Studios banner and things like that. It's going to be under the Fox thing. People at this point are going to know that there's a difference. And so that's a big part of it. I think it will be rated R, but past that, X-Force 2, I don't quite know. Anthony, this is not the stream to talk politics. So no politics talk here. Your girlfriend bought you a Link Star Wars throw blanket. It was awkward. That is awkward. My sister sewed my daughter a Legend of Zelda blanket, full queen size blanket, before she was born. So when she gets a little older, we're going to put that on her bed. Would I rather have a drink with Kevin Spacey or Harvey Weinstein? Probably Harvey Weinstein. I think I'd have less to worry about there. X-Force is going to be freaking awesome. I hope so. William, you just want a good goddamn Howard the Duck film? You already have one. Find me a person. This is seriously a legit challenge. Find me a fucking person out there who legitimately dislikes Howard the Duck. I don't think you can find it. I don't think you can find it at all, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. What do I think of Game of Thrones, guys? And Johnson's Star Wars trilogy running concurrently or one after the other? Well, they're obviously going to run one after the other in terms of years. Okay, so Kevin Feige has said that Marvel Studios is okay with the idea of running of doing 4 movies a year, which is a lot. Now, Lucasfilm is probably not going to want to do more than 2 movies a year. I don't think the market can handle that many Star Wars. I think the fact that we have 2 movies in 6 months, seeing how that plays out is going to be very interesting. But at the same time, I do feel we might do a May and a Christmas release going forward. So just one every 6 months, which is fine in the overall. But it also depends on how they're going to be telling the story. When it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know what you're kind of getting. You know generally where the story's headed. These movies don't have that, not yet. The Game of Thrones guys are creating not just a trilogy, but a series of films. Probably going to be telling a long arc, like a very long arc. And as a result of that, we're going to probably be wanting more of that than just like one a year, but we're probably going to get one a year on that. I would argue probably... I'm hoping not one every other year, but I think they're going to do, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Solo, we know there's going to be a trilogy. Ewan McGregor was at the premiere tonight. Apparently he's looking pretty buff. People are thinking there's going to be a start film date for Obi-Wan next year is a rumor I heard today and whatever. I think that's going to be announced this summer. And I think it's going to be announced as a trilogy of films. I think they're going to start pushing a trilogy of legacy characters because they did well with this one. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But I think they can run concurrently, provided they're telling a story. The thing with Marvel, though, is Marvel was having multiple series running concurrently that were telling a story all leading to Infinity War. And if they're not going to do that with Star Wars leading to kind of a big event film like that, then I don't really see the point. Marvel, really at this point, Kathleen Kennedy should just look at Kevin Feige and go, teach me. And then that's what they should do. You saw me in the chat during Lords of the Night. Yeah, I was there. Let's see here. Brooklyn Nine-Nine canceled. I know. I agree. Pizza. Let's see here. No, I think that that it's terrible that shit died the way that it did. Would I be interested in a Donald Trump biopic? Actually, no, man, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I don't care enough about. I know his history. I don't care much about it otherwise to really kind of figure that out. So if Kathleen Kennedy is not long for Lucasfilm, do I think the Rian Johnson trilogy is going to be shelved? It's still in it's still in the development phase, so anything could happen at this point. If Kathleen Kennedy is smart, she'll cancel it. But I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I think it'll be fine. So am I gonna put some Legends material on the Star Wars channel? I'm actually not, only because I want to keep it focused on this canon. And there's a lot of stuff to go through, so it's a lot. It's taken me a long time to go through it all. If Wolverine's in X-Force, who do they have planned to recast for the role? I don't think Wolverine's going to be in X-Force. I have a feeling that they're going to let that sit for a while. Not until 2021 will we probably get a recasting. Fox at this point is not going to touch it. There's no reason to touch it. Disney's going to want to recast. They're not going to want to go through the process of hiring someone to be in like 1, maybe 2 movies and then be recast by Disney if that deal goes through, or Comcast if that deal goes through for them. And that again all boils down to whether or not AT&T is allowed to purchase Time Warner. So a lot going on there, but no, I don't think we're going to see anything with we're going to see Wolverine in the Avengers at one point, guaranteed. Do I watch SNL? I do watch it. Yeah, I watch it every week. So you heard Soylo, a kombucha story. That's pretty funny. All right, guys, it is in fact 11 o'clock. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I do appreciate you guys coming on in. I'll be back on. I don't know. I think Sunday night will probably be when I'm back on. Maybe look for a stream tomorrow. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll have to do this again. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, jump in the Discord, link in the video description, and we can continue chatting over there. All right, guys?